Hello everybody. What I've got here is the new Dewalt 13-inch planer. Bought it from Lowe's. Going to do a little test on planing some oak wood that I got off my property. Buddy of mine's got a little sawmill, so we sawed down a red oak tree last spring. I've had it drying and should be pretty dry about now. It's been sitting up, I guess, for about a year and a half. And so moisture content is down pretty low right now, and it's been curing. So bought this planer, planed down some boards. I'm going to use them for stair treads in the house, and we'll see how this turns out. Let's unpackage this thing and see what it looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like out of the box. When you go to assemble it, what you gotta do is you gotta put on this dust collector, and it pretty much just snaps in place. It's got a little pin, just spins on, locks in place with this pin here, and a little coupling here. And then you install this hand feed wheel here, which controls your depth up and down. And you take this screw off, and then just slide this handle on, reinstall the screw. Very simple. And you control your depth by turning this handle up and down. Here's the scale right here. Looks like it can do up to 6 inches thick. Do 13 inches wide. And it tells you your depth of cut. Let's see if I can get that to focus. So if you're 13 inches wide, you're almost next to nothing on your thickness that it recommends. Almost a 32nd. So it says if you're 9 inches wide, it says you can do a 1/16. We'll see how that works. I don't have anything that's 13 inches wide. I think my planks are going to be right around 11. So you got a speed selector switch here that and finishing feed rates. So this right here is a depth selector here. So once you can set your depth to where repeatability down to 1.25 inches, all the way down to 1/8 of an inch. So you can set it down to 1.25 inches, then crank your handle back down, and then she'll stop right there at 1.25 inches. This is your main power switch, and I'm going to set this thing on a tripod and see what it looks like when she goes to plane very first piece. I don't have any safety glasses, but I've got my safety shield here. Protect my eyes from all this stuff blowing around. Alright, so I'm going to fire this thing up, and got my height set where I should just barely touch the top. It may or may not cut on the first pass. We'll see what happens. A little bit off the top. flopping this board because of course it's bowed. But on the rough cut settings, this thing is doing a very nice job. One turn of the crank is a 1/16 of an inch. So just to keep it from taking too heavy of a cut, I'm going about 32nd at a time. I'm going to keep working this down till she cleans up all the way across. But so far, I'm very, very impressed about this. Looks very good, cuts very good. Man, that oak smells wonderful. I'm going to continue cutting on this until I get it flat. To the finish cut. Got this board now to where it cleaned up all the way. I'm going to switch over and take a couple finish cuts on it. Although I don't know if it really needs it because it's very, very smooth right now. Man, very, very impressed with that. I know it's because it's got brand new knives on it, but that board is smooth. I mean, very smooth. I'm rubbing my hand over it. No splinters at all. That's nice. I didn't take any very large cuts. I was staying about a 1/16. This board's about 9.5 inches wide. And it didn't bog down any. But very, very impressed with that Dewalt. One of the nice features that I did like on it, I've never owned another planer before. Let's see if I can pull this off. But this little thickness gauge here tells you when your feeding it in of how much material was coming off. And I thought that was pretty nice. But chips were very fine. Of course, it's brand spanking new out of the box. But that Dewalt really did the job. I've got a few more that I'm going to do, and then probably put them on a router and do the edges and clean them up, and I'll see what happens at the very end. Thank you very much for watching.